in your lineup too, so that's definitely objective-oriented for the side of Xtreme. I'm curious as to your thoughts to the lane too of Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, he also did go for Lancelot facet, which makes him like I think this is going to be the ability that he's going to be maxing in the lane. Lance is an uncommon name nowadays, but in the medieval times, people were called Lancelot.
No, look, you just look here and you're chuckling as you're saying that. I really like that. That was clever. Take a look over mid. 7-0 already for XM as he's fighting against this puck. We've seen XM have some really good performances, especially because, you know, there's been a lot of games from Xtreme, including the TI qualifiers, where Ame seemed to get punished pretty heavily in lane. And then it was very reliant on XM and XXS to save the game for Ame and the rest of the team.
Yeah, it did happen multiple times. Ame, in this one, he is playing against Rubik, which is not the strongest laner. Dawnbreaker is causing some of the issues because you have the damage over time. Celestial Hammer, you are also paired up with Shadow Shaman. They have ways of dealing with Shadow Shaman, casting his abilities without getting interrupted.
And using that doppelganger just to get away, and you can see him taking some excessive damage as he's got that model dropped off to him. He's going for Ame, but the shackles connect. The Starbreaker doesn't finish, but a blood grenade thrown by Tofu as well as Krikolosin. As they'll chase the Shadow Shaman, but not enough damage. Ether Shock as well, and Rubik. I know your thoughts on this hero. He's level 2. How much does he add to the game?
Look at him. 33% win rate. Not too bad.
I don't think we've seen a win for Rubik.
No, I don't think so. In theory, again, it looks like a good Rubik game. The spells that he can steal, like you're going to be stealing Photic Shield, you're going to be stealing spells from Shadow Shaman, Shadow Demon as well if you can get Disruption. Slitherine Crush is also very good, maybe Traps. So there's a lot of these small spells that you can steal. I think the biggest one that you want to get is Photic Shield and Shackles most of the time.
See if they get to a quicker 6. Been seeing a lot of aggression for that 7-minute Wisdom Shrine, especially from teams like BetBoom and Spirit. They really like playing aggressive on that 7-minute mark. You do have Shadow Shaman and TA. They can definitely step up. Good Hex Shackle combination could lead to a kill, as well as getting that shrine if they're playing the position right. XM kind of low, but put some damage on with the bash and the Slither Crush on the Quinn. So he'll start to sip on that bottle, but now empty. And he's also going to bring himself over a salve, so just trying to heal up and sustain in this lane because Quinn is kind of putting some hurt out of the slaughter.
Yeah, this is why they picked it. I've seen this matchup a couple of times. It wasn't as bad for Buck. I guess it also depends on how much you're getting in the first wave. XM is a very strong laner. Quinn had a great tournament so far, but also this matchup throughout the Dota history has been Slardar favored. Something that he lacks is also a bit of a farming tool now that your bash doesn't really deal extra damage to the creeps.
Starbreaker, but Tofu on the run. Ame.
Look at him go.
Get the tower. He will. He needs one more shot, but the telekinesis now able to survive. So Ame takes a lot of damage for that attempt to try and get that kill. Doesn't even get that first blood, but he really, really would love to pick this up and might be able to do so if Tofu steps up too far. One of my questions to you, Lacoste, is we've been seeing a lot of puck speed take the curveball facet, but Quinn's gone to the jostling ring. What would be the difference here in taking that over the curveball?
It might be related to the matchup that he's playing into, where he can push or pull some of the heroes, but push is going to be probably better than if you're playing against Slardar, and then you can push away from yourself. Now there's 3 stacks of Shadow Poison. One's going to be the kill.
They're trading here to Watson, and that should be the case. Doppelganger and get away away from XXS.
I guess XXS did not want to save him there. He had Magic Wand ready, did not want to use it. His Aphotic Shield was off cooldown because he is playing with the quickening facet. Bottom lane, almost a low drop.
He stood his ground knowing that he was probably going to be dead there using that shackle, but they lose vision of Tofu. A blood grenade from Maladich, and now they're going to go back on Ame. Celestial Hammer, Jinju makes the rotation, mirroring over. Jakiro's moving down towards bottom. The Starbreaker lands. Ame doesn't have refraction for 6 seconds, but he will end up getting under the tower. He did lose those gloves of haste as Ace killed the courier after killing Colosin. 4 stacks hit onto Ace, but nothing more coming out from the Shadow Demon here for Xtreme.
It was a nice try from Jakiro to TP bottom and try to grab a kill after he died. This also relieves some of the pressure from the top lane. Watson definitely will have to get some of the extra XP, and so will XXS with this rotation from Shadow Demon. Both of them are going to be getting it.
Coming over towards mid, and they'll look over, trying to get Quinn. Dream Coil placed down, but they get the kill on the Quinn. Jinju will be traded. Maladich might be next. Got the Corrosive Haze, dual breath, the bash comes through. Tofu trying to help out this Jakiro, but now it's a double kill for XM. Might even be a triple kill. A bash, and there's another for XM.
Oh man, he's level 7. They brought in numbers, and XM pretty much cleaned all of them. Sitting on 1,000 gold. This is going to be a really good Blink Dagger timing. This is something that they do lack, because from the offlane, Ava, he wants to farm. He's not really a hero that joins in some of these early engagements, but a very good start for Xtreme Gaming, especially for Slaughter. They have 3-0 at the moment.
I got a little nervous for Gaimin when they picked up that Rubik, and
I got like triple nervous when they picked PL after that.
I was going to say the same thing. And it makes me a little bit worried, especially the early game going really well for Xtreme. Things have been a little bit inconsistent for Xtreme Gaming, but right now they do have themselves a bit of a lead. They don't play aggressive to go for this shrine. They'll also pick up their own, so it'll be one apiece. If you get his, Tofu getting the other one, and see Ame finish off those treads as he is not exactly super farmed. It's actually XM, especially after that triple kill. He's got a lot of gold under his belt, almost up towards that 4,000 mark. So now you took that level 6 for Phantom Lancer. You got that juxtapose. What's like the real...
Nobody knows. I don't think anybody knows. I'm pretty sure that some of the teams try to use it in some of the scrims to see how the hero feels after the recent changes, but I haven't seen it yet. Like, I've seen that one game that I talked about. It looked much stronger than I expected it to be.
Success. Still going deep with Colosin over here. They've also got full support, so Doppelganger and they'll leave. Watson gets out of there, leaves Maladich to die, and this could just be the tier 1 tower top 2. Wouldn't really surprise me. You've got the Illusion, you've got XXS. They'll take this tower. Gladiators really don't have a response.
They can't really do much about it. They bring in the numbers. There's a lot of saves on their side. These heroes are not easily killed, and I'm looking at the damage from Gaimin Gladiators. Rubik doesn't really provide you with much damage. Jakiro, especially when you're playing from behind, doesn't feel too strong. PL, he's going to Yasha. I want to see what the optimization is going to be. I assume it's still going to be the same with Aghanim Scepter. And we'll talk about the Aghanim Scepter, whether that's a viable purchase or not. We'll see if he decides to go for it. And I like what I see from Ame. The build that I did mention, instead of going for Nesso, he wants to go for the Mjolnir, deal with that PL and the illusions. It's very good against high armor heroes, and if you need to deal with the illusions, it can still work. So it can be really good, especially with the build-up from Abaddon from the offlane where you're going for the Radiance. So they will definitely have the answers.
Great Fade Bolt there from the Rubik, not really stopping Ame much at all. It almost has that level 6. It's not really the slow 6 we've seen from a lot of these Rubiks. We've seen Rubik struggle to get into that ult, but you said there's a lot of options. The question is, can a Rubik still use them? We've seen so many games where it sounds like this is going to be the game where Rubik wins, looks good, and people will start picking it again, being a showstopper. Then it launch every time.
Yeah, it looked miserable. It looked actually unplayable every single time we watch Rubik. He did win some of the games. He did win 33% of the games so far at Wallachia, but maybe I bring bad luck to this hero.
I think he might.
Me and all the boys from the Hate Club.
The Rubik Hate Club?
Yeah, that I organized. I'm the CEO. Best hero in the game, the stack, besides Shadow Demon. 5 cam stacked in 10 minutes. Oh man, XM, he's gonna hit a very critical timing. When Dagger's getting delivered 10 minutes in. It's not just Blink, it's Blink, Bottle, Natural, Pressure, Range, Control.
Yeah, 5,000 net worth at this point. And Success not too far behind. Watson's getting a decent amount of gold, and so is Quinn. We'll see how they react now that they have this Blink Dagger, I assume. He's got an Invis rune, but I assume they're gonna try and smoke and find a pickoff somewhere. On top of which, if Pelosin can get into the 6 soon, then they'll use those Serpent Wards to take another objective.
Watson changed his mind in the end. He did go for the Dual Blade as his first item. That's the power of PL. When you can buy Blade of Alacrity and then decide what you want to get afterwards. A lot of farming in the triangle for both of these teams.
Corrosive Haze bottom, and the Blink Slither and Crush. He stole Refraction.
Cool.
It took him alive for a little bit longer than what would have been the normal Death Dagger on. So Ame gets another kill, and Rubik's dead again. Already 1-3-1. It's that Blink. Thank you for Xtreme. And XXS, the fact that it's been so quiet for him and he's just able to sit here and farm. Now, just go into the Radiance, make it easy. Nobody's really coming his direction. Not only have they gotten that kill, though, over bottom, they're going to smoke. They've got Mass Serpent Wards available, and they can push the Tier 1 tower bottom and potentially even get a kill here on the Ace if he doesn't back away from the tower.
They're pinging the mid instead now, seeing that Ace did leave. This is how you play against Dawnbreaker. You initiate onto her instead of going for others, because you know that that Dawn ulti is going to come out quick. See how they approach this one. Ran out. Nice deny.
Denied the Haze Rune now in the water, but stole the Disruption, so that'll stop XM from coming over. Dream could use on a Jig Cube, but now Quinn's got to get out. XM Blink, Slither, and Crush has the Corrosive. He's trying to control all this puck. Pelosin's waiting for him to come over to his side with that illusory orb, and he jumps right into the Hex.
Not a trade Gaimin wants to get from this one. They were still not using Solar Guardian. Now, with Shadow Shaman wards, they can push the mid-tier 1 tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Tofu, uh-oh, he stole Mistcoil. I like this from XXX. He's level 9, very close to level 10. Doesn't put a point in borrow time, knowing that he most likely is not going to die. It also has Mistcoil, so we can't steal the shield. He didn't get it twice in a row.
Nice Mistcoil.
No, it's Mist Aphotic Shield, not Mistcoil. That's the biggest spell you can steal. Removing Corrosive Haze, dealing with Shadow Shaman as well. In the spell, Shadow Poison.
Hasn't really gotten great spells yet on Tofu. I think the best one that he had for a moment was that Disruption. But for now, sticking with Mistcoil, and I don't know if that's really gonna help all too much. He's looking for heals. I like the item. Will be able to do much.
Radiant
If he just gets jumped on and killed immediately by Sarda, right? Like Blinks with their Crush and Pros, yeah, he can just die very fast. Ooh, they will kill this Shadow Shaman in time. Watson by himself able to kill Pelosin before he's able to TP out.
Getting involved. Watson. 0-0 as his Phantom Lancer. I just gotta double check what he has as his balance. I have not seen this hero in action for quite some time. So Phantom Rush agility, Earth Land slow duration. Not too crazy, I would say. Not until get to level 20-25. Right.
Impact hero, but Diffusal Yasha going into the Manta style, maybe you will be able to get involved. He is top of the net worth now. It was XM kind of starting off by pulling away with it, and then Ame and XXS have had 3 games. But overall, Watson is at the top. What felt like Xtreme kind of controlling the last 5 minutes or so. Team Gladiators, they found their farm, and they really haven't died too much other than their supports.
He's in a really good spot. I mean, if they win this game, I think a lot of people will be wondering, like, how did they do it? And yeah, it's a hero that has been dead. I don't remember like last time when this hero was not. Maybe 2021, 2022. You picked Watson and you win the game with it.
Surprise! Radiant's finished for XXS. Still not fighting all too much. Tofu kind of waiting for it. Took refraction again. But like I said, with Corrosive Haze, with the Melt Strike and the Shadow Shaman, you can just kind of duck into Roche. And they're going to try and get this Aegis. Meanwhile, nobody's really coming over just yet. And I don't know if they're going to come over fast enough. They're all sitting mid. Their attention is on the Borosian. Don't have an Aegis for the side of the street.
They're going to hit it on there. They have very good objective taking. It's not as good as when you have Templar Assassin with Deso, but he needs to go adjust his item build, go for the Mjolnir instead since they're playing in PGL.
Poor man's shield for Watson, so it's like we've never left 2020. Still have a poor man's shield. And it's coil again. Big spells. Going here by Ruben.
Yeah, Quinn can do the same thing. He can also miss his coil.
That's a problem. He'll hit the coil though. Chipping away, but he is slowed up. Disruption connects, and XM will be there for the Solar Crush. Doesn't connect. Solar Guardian from Ace to save up this Queen Hawk as they'll chase the other way and look for XM. Tofu trying to get his hands onto this Slardar, but just cannot get close enough for any telekinesis or control. They don't actually kill off Quinn, and this was an attack from Xtreme that just didn't work out.
Tofu with stolen Slitherine Crush. Getting into the middle of a fight, like you could use that maybe slightly later. Let's see, I'm trying to set something up here. Slitherine Crush.
The crush. Down another puddle on the ground though. Ace trying to clean up some creeps so they can't take this line so easily, but Ace and Ame just continuing to push and do a lot of damage. Another quick wave coming in. The push is easy to kill. Objective oriented for Xtreme. They first to pre-18 minutes, and they also find Ace. They need to get the damage here to kill him off, and Hosa will hammer him behind.
Very interesting item build from Ace. This is not. I'll hold that thought, Maladich. Fighting against that man. He's ready with the destruction.
Yeah, Dream
Slitherine Crush, let's go.
There's the Crush, the Fable, and still cannot kill him with the telekinesis. Throws him into the macro fire, and that's still not enough to save anybody. Maladich ends up dead. Watson looking for an entry point into the fight. He goes into the Shadow Shaman away from this one. Doppelganger deep, but down, disrupted onto Illusion. Slitherine Crush is going to be on the mark. Watson goes into the trees. He's trying to avoid anything that is coming from the side of Xtreme. Getting into the backline in for the supports. So Watson goes forward to coming into Watson. Is it enough? Not really. The Slitherine Crush hits. XM finds the real one and then kills it. Ace keeping up with this Solar Guardian and now going to be killed over. And another Slitherine Crush with the minus armor. The kills are quick. And Xtreme come out ahead.
Overextending there. Watson jumping underneath the tower. Also, this is something that Shadow Demon can do. He can create illusions out of PL of his own, but then you don't have defensive disruption, which was something that got him killed in the previous fight. But you can see the power of this lineup from Xtreme Gaming. When you have a Slardar with his innate ability with the Seaborn Sentinel, so he has extra bonus armor, extra bonus damage, extra regen, and then you also have Abaddon playing behind you with Radiance, using a Photic Shield multiple times on him. That's a lot of regen. Perfect timing from XXS to get in there.
To have that lockdown telekinesis with the Slitherine Crush, and it's just not enough, but I like the idea for Watson to go for Shadow Shaman. is really one of the bigger annoyers in this fight. Then going to the supports, any save opportunity, any lockdown that they offer is going to be taken away pretty quickly. Walking the chases and focuses attention on the shadow. The entire time, XM's here, he kind of shadow blocks and waiting for his sword, looking to drop it out, looking for his opportunity to blink in. And then he's all the way out, finds it, and they kill him off right as he feels like he's done enough.
Oh, nice try. Malady will be able to TP out. This lineup from Xtreme Gaming is very good at taking objectives. Not so much without this though, but I do like this Milner, as we already said, that is our team. It's like, ooh, wait. Could have been close. Good team. Over to the close by. Makes sense. Also have a Blink Dagger available. But also to finish off my point with Dawnbreaker, who did go for Vlad's, it is good amount of armor. You're playing against Tia, you're playing against Slaughter, even Abaddon, Shadow Shaman Warrior. It's a lot of physical damage reduction for the whole team in terms of armor, but also it's a great item for PL because PL's innate ability, some items ability to lower the grand bonus damage, it gives him grand base damage, and then you have Vlad's, which does increase your base damage.
Does it seem like it's a lot of
Right now, he is sitting at 150, so 18% of that. That's 27 extra damage with the lifesteal and everything, and it's starting just now. Like once he starts to get more items, it's gonna be quite a lot more. Maybe at 200 actually when he uses Phantom Rush. So that's extra 36 damage that he's getting.
Not bad. Not bad at all. As the Manta now going into the heart, has picked up that level 15 plus 2.5 second Phantom Rush bonus agility duration. And when he has his heart, he'll be a little bit more survivable. Is there a point where he hits critical mass and Xtreme can't deal with him no matter what they have? Or, I mean, with the Mjolnir, he could have the melee.
I would say with Mjolnir, with the damage, crunch AoE, Abaddon can also build into Shiva's Guard if necessary. Tofu.
Two big things happening on your screen, which is basically going to be Rubik getting attacked and Rubik dying. Just that Yules is not enough to survive. Finding the disruption on a Hawk is TPing out. Illusory Orb trying to jaunt up and will into a blink. Good job by Quinn to get out of this.
This could have been big. He needs to play this type of a game. He needs to be playing on the different side of the map, try to play a lot of control. Let's have Tumbler Stoy, Shadow Demon with the Blink Dagger and Ether Lens. Jinkyu is really farmed.
Yeah, he's got almost 9,000 gold. That is kind of crazy. Granted, he did get a little bit of a boost from the Tormentor, but even without that, he has got a lot of CS and he has been farming quite a bit.
He's been also given priority in that triangle to clear the stacks.
Yeah. Not as much gold spent on the shooters we saw there. He's got that Blink Dagger, and I would assume Polosin, with the 1,400 gold that he saved up, is most likely also saving for a Blink. So they'll have multiple initiation and save opportunities for this Xtreme.
Yeah, Blink is great. I would also love to see potentially just a Glimmer Cape.
Okay.
Especially with the cast range that you do have, it's a very good way of dealing with PL, because these are carry professional e-gamers we're talking about. They don't buy dust.
It's not a professional thing to get. And I know that I'm also being a professional myself by not being the one who buys dust either. Let's have the next, but no follow-up. Daedalus next on the docket for BKB on the shoulder, which is still at 9 seconds, so having multiple 9-second BKBs at the ready is definitely going to feel pretty good when you're coming into the next fight. They've got Glimmer Cape queued up for the Shadow Demon, and it will in fact be that Blink Dagger for Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, if the other guy can farm Glimmer Cape, I think that's enough. You also want to be having repositioning tools. You want to be able to punish the map with the Blink Dagger and Shadow Shaman. So I like that. Two supports definitely having a talk about the itemization, who needs to get what, and the perfect respawn timer. here for Xtreme Gaming. Roshan will roar, but doesn't seem like Gaming Gladiators can take that fight.
No, not at all.
This is a pretty standard Phantom Lancer. I always need one extra item to be fight ready. Same thing did happen with Morana, for example, when she played as carry compared to some other carries. You just never would fight ready, and this was kind of her downfall. Never, you can't even see that hero other than maybe some position 5s.
Radiant's
But
top tower
heart is the
is
item,
under
right?
attack.
Yeah. And now, let's see what he queues up next. Now he's going to be needing something like Scotty, probably. Butterfly, something along those lines to be able to tank up slightly more. And with this builder on Templar Assassin, you still have ways of healing with the Butterfly, because the procs do go through the evasion.
He had to work it queued up for a second, then switched it up.
Yeah, I think the items that you do want to have, are, like the 3 next items, are probably going to be Butterfly, Scotty, plus Bloodthorn. Just hold guys for another 20-25 minutes, and we will eventually get there.
Seriously, you went, oh, he just wants, and then proceeded to name like 15,000 gold in items. Sorry, guys. Phantom Lancer can't come out to play. He still has to get 3 more items.
Nice item from Quinn. Usually you don't see this item, that's why it is fastest by 11 minutes. Disruption on some illusions, and then the focus is on those words. It's going to be taken out very fast. They got the Shadow Shot, but now they're going to hold the Silver Guardian. Now they're going to go for that. It's getting a little bit low. There's so much loss, he has to fight back. But how much does he have to take? Still alive. They got the Silver Guardian. The fight XXX goes down, and it's all Gaming Gladiators. This is a Phantom Lancer that is showing that you should believe in him, because he takes over quick, and then you have no answer. Finally getting that body shield. That's the best ability that you can steal in this one, and they did a pretty good job protecting each other. This Heartened Phantom Lancer gives him 60 HP per region. He has a bit of a damage block, extra region as well from Brawny. So
Radiant's middle
good fight there for Gaimin. Immediately, Phantom Lancer jumping the back lines, killing Shadow Shaman, and they didn't have enough. First of all, they killed off the agent almost instantly. No mana whatsoever. His mana got burned instantly.
So fast.
So you can see that the they can't really enter the fight. Very nice macro fire from Malnage to block them off, and then immediately Watson forcing Shadow Shaman to use his wards and getting a kill on Poloson immediately after. You can see that there's still going to be a stun there from Dawnbreaker who comes into the fight. There's a lot of heals coming out as well. Vlad, you have the Photic Shield as well. Dawnbreaker takes on his own item. On AC. Plus Vlad's, it's all about taking his Phantom Lancer, giving him the damage, and giving him survivability. This game is completely flipped.
Yeah, a fight that goes in is like that, where XXS is going to be right into the middle of the frame. So are the rest of these heroes. Would you like to see maybe an Axe for Abaddon after this man style?
I think they might need to have more control, like more damage. Now, seeing that they have AC, he might try to replicate that, or if he wants to go for Basher, have a little bit more control, try to jump that line. It also feels like they need a nullifier, so somebody will need to buy this, seeing that there is multiple defensive items on the support. You have Ghost Scepter, there's Scepter Rubik, there's Lord as well. You can dispel the Aphotic Shield.
Doesn't have a lot of time left with this Aphotic Shield. Getting it could definitely be a cause for, hey, we want to fight, knowing that we have some protection. It'll be Daedalus into the NKV.
All damage. They want to be able to kill the heroes instantly. He even picked up their neutral item, seeing that Phantom Lancer is going for Butterfly, showing that Claymore. I mean, you're not going to be buying Heart into Satanic from that Claymore. So kind of showing what he's going for. You could still get something like a Shadow Blade, but you also have your Shard, which gives you invisibility. There's not too many things to break, so most likely that's going to be a Butterfly, and there it is.
Butterfly comes in and Curious to see if maybe Templar Assassin sees the butterfly, holds on just having the Chrysalis, builds the MKB first, then goes back to finish the Daedalus. We'll see if that ends up being the case, as it is now Aghanim Scepter finished off on Slardar, and the idea here for Abaddon is to go, at least at the moment, for an Orchid.
Just wondering who's he gonna Orchid. Puck is definitely a good target, but they can remove that with the Photic Shield. Maybe Rubik can pick up the shard off his own, lift him out of the trouble. And he can also buy a BKB if necessary, buy a Lincoln Sphere. These are all good items on Puck. We've seen good amount of Pucks in the last couple of days buying BKB as their like second, sometimes even third item. Because there's so much control.
Significant advantage on Xtreme for that last fight, but now it's all kind of come crumbling down. Cores of Dawnbreaker and Poison never stood a chance. Heroes here over the side of Game Gladiators overwhelmed them, and you just cannot get the damage. And you're dead too.
This feels too big. They don't have the answer immediately. They jump in. They have to pop their BKBs. It was a nice play from Ame, killing off Ace off of that trap, but that's pretty much all they got. Ace taking all the damage with his AC, with his flash. I don't know if they have enough. It seems like they need. Look at that damage.
Almost 1,200 pure damage. I just can't survive these fights. Phantom Lancer is just such an overwhelming presence. And is level 22. Took that plus 6% juxtaposition damage. Looking to pick up a shard to up that. I mean, he is well ahead now, and even behind the TA and net worth, he was too much for Ame to handle.
Xtreme, they need to get into the fight and kill the heroes during the BKBs. Problem is they can't do that, especially if there's going to be a Photic Shield still on Rubik. He needs to steal it again. But they have good amount of defensive tools. XM, usually you see this guy being tanky. Slaughter with Aghanim Scepter becomes extremely tanky. And also, all of these illusions. Eldritch will be the one getting it. I think in this situation you would probably prefer to have it on Rubik, so you can, because they want to focus on the target, jump it with Shadow Shaman, jump it with Slaughter and TA, try to kill it off instantly. With Rubik Shard, you can push him out of the trouble, but you also have Dawn ulti as well coming in. Just picked up the gem on Puck. Kill the trap, find the backlines. That Clever King is not going to be as effective.
Quickly in, Pops borrowed time, tried to turn, but the Dream Coil now keeps him in place. Another encroachment, here comes Watson. He is ready to dive in if need be. Zero starts to get away, and in Gladiators, they don't actually continue their engagement. They'll back away from the fight. Roshi's up potentially soon. Maybe they just don't want to risk giving up the fight were to go poorly, but they can also just back away and then re-engage on the tier 2 tower. Force it into a position, and that honestly feels like the truth. This fight has not gone well for Xtreme.
Oh, Roshan spawns immediately.
They're most likely not going to be the first ones to the pick being overthought. I say that now, Malinich. He's fine, they've got their own server boards. And then again, Xtreme just disengaging.
They see Roshan respawn with Templar Assassin. Third Eye gives them that ability. Innate from Templar Assassin. We've seen this yesterday as well when Wallachia was playing against Shadow Shaman, stealing Mass Serpent Wards and immediately using it to counter the enemy Serpent Wards.
know they're probably in Roche, and they are not going in too quickly, but have bailed from the pit. Not continuing to try and take this Roche. They've smoked themselves, and Xtreme are doing the up and around high wrap. LANCER here for the side of Xtreme Gaimin. They got through from XM, but he is on the run. They've got their hands around XM. They're taking the outline. They'll find the Sardar and Watson. Out in their way.
Very good banning rift. Pull them into the macropire. 5,000 damage from Phantom Lance. You can see the damage as well. PA, Slardar not really dealing the damage. Abaddon, of course, with Borrow Time will be dealing some of the damage with Photic Shield and Radiance in these prolonged team fights. Yeah. He got stuck, he got bashed.
There's 500 damage in that fight. This is the guy that you need to be surviving.
Can't really deal with it, even with this side of my nature. There's going to be a point in the game where you're not going to be able to set the illusion. It's not like you have massive cleave coming out from Sven or anything, and now Watson ready to close it out. Dasher in the backpack. BKB here. Even during the BKB, can't be like super relaxed out of Xtreme Gaming. That's a full abyssal base coming now.
They back off. Just go top, right?
I think they can just go. I think they can just force it. Win the game. There's not enough damage. Like, sure, XM, he is tanky, but he doesn't like to play into illusion-based heroes. He doesn't like to play into insane amount of armor that they do provide. Dawnbreaker, mid-flat. It's not the most, like it has been decreased to only 2, but also Assault Curious gives 5 extra, so that's extra 7 armor as well. And now Rubik, he can be the one who can also jump in the middle of a fight with the Blink Dagger, with the Slytherin Crush. Finally, we're gonna be seeing Rubik winning the game. At least the two of us. He did win some before. He was guard in, he got things out.
I wouldn't speak too soon. We've also not seen Rubik, but we've also seen the Mega Creep Curse be a thing.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah, this one looks very out of hand. If they do in fact get Mega Creeps, I feel like this one is looking surely in the bag. This has just been a complete turnaround and just beat down from this Phantom.
Radiant's top tower is torn.
This is Ace doesn't need to be ready to win the game. It's Southern momentum as well as It's going against not picking up that Apollo shield. Now steals Mizagel again. Now steals his coil again.
The XXS every single time. Give it away.
On the back, this might be the focus. They go to the server boards. They get the gun back. They use the server boards. Coming in immediately. Lose your orbit, chopping towards the back end of the fight. Exits off to the side, not committing to anything just yet. Do not have this Jakiro, but they still have an Aegis. They still have 2 lives available on Watson. They're not committing just yet. They want this Jakiro to be back in. He can come over to the outpost. He's only 40 seconds away, but it will be towards the end of that Aegis. Didn't get that final tier 3.
No, but speaking of neutral items, Phantom Lancer did leave his Poor Man's Shield. This is Poor Man's Shield with Unleashed. Getting a bit of a damage block with that damage. again because of his innate ability. So right now he's sitting at 350 damage, and he uses that Phantom Rush. That's the Phantom Rush.
Still 295. I love
Without any numbers, yeah.
Maybe this can make a hold. Immediately TPing into the outpost. Sword Guardian available again. Thrown onto GQ. Finally, a fight of shield is going to be stolen. So now we've got that looking right. Immediately. The long break success. The follow time. It's going to get popped. Close to the top of this Aegis. So maybe they have a chance to go after Watson as the Aegis expires. But Onyx on the run with BKB, and Watson wants to chase him down. Eventually turns back.
so far in Wallachia, they do not want to commit, so it's going to be a bit of a slower siege.
Yeah, they're
really not that slow.
They've got mega creeps, and I would say at this point, if they somehow use this game, you can call me Shirley, and that ain't my name. So I don't think Gaimin Gladiators are really in a position that this one's going to be dropped. They've got zone exposed. There's no reason to commit any further than they need to. Serve the wards